Growing cactus plants can be a prickly subject, and although you may think they're limited to the desert, you can actually grow one in your very own home. And joining us now to show us how is Master Gardener Ed Sourdiffe. We are going to make jungle cactus. We're going to grow a little bit of jungle cactus today, is that right?
Yes, we are, Seth.
You were saying earlier, most people when they think cactus, they think dry terrain desert, but that's not necessarily true.
No, actually, these cactuses are from the jungles of South America, actually, and they grow an awful lot like orchids. They grow up in rock crevices, up on in tree crevices, so they're off the ground getting the sun, because in the jungle everybody's striving to get to the sun. So these are up, they're growing. That's why you can see such big plants in such little pots, because they would be used to be crammed into a little tree crevice.
Oh, so you can grow them in a relatively contained area.
Yes, these actually, this year I'm gonna, after they're done blooming, I'm actually gonna pot them up a bit, but make a little bit bigger pot. But yeah, you can see they're doing well, and they're actually blooming well too.
So if I wanted to have one of these jungle cactuses at home, how would I go about doing it?
Okay, well, first of all, they're not a regular desert cactus like we said, so they do like to keep their soil moist. So all summer long, you're going to keep the soil moist, just like you were, just try to mimic an environment that you would find in the jungle. So you would get it, a few rain showers every other day. The soil stays nice and moist. You want to give them probably part shade to shade. So a great thing for them is put them on hanging baskets like this, and actually hang them on your tree limbs. And that way you'll have they'll be happy there all summer long. In order to get them to bloom, what you need to do is make sure that they go down to cooler temperatures. So leave them out before frost in the fall, but when it gets nice and cool, and then put them in a cooler part of the house. And that'll ensure that you get all these different kind of flowers.
These flowers are absolutely gorgeous. Now, do all cactuses flower like this?
Yeah, most do. You know the Christmas cactus, the Thanksgiving cactus. Those are also tropical jungle cactuses, so you want to keep them moist like this. Not saturated moist, just nicely moist where you touch it and it feels moist to the touch. And regular cactuses also, the desert cactuses do bloom too, but these are some of the largest cacti blooms that there are. In the wild, they were all basically white flowers, but now through hybridization we get the pinks, purples, oranges, yellows, and these will be coming in a day or two, and the blooms actually last 3 to 5 days usually.
Oh, so it's a short shelf life, but the nice thing is that the leaves, this part of the plant's gorgeous anyways.
Yeah, that's nice too, and actually the leaves, you'll see some of them have a little bit of abuse to them. They just hang on and hang on, so they don't they're not that tender of a plant that you have to worry about abusing.
Can you prune a cactus if it's not the shape that you want it to be?
Sure, you can make whatever shape you want. Actually, by pruning, you can actually make more. And basically all you'd have to do that is we would take something like a pot like this, and I would just put something in the bottom, maybe just some tissue paper just to block up the holes in the bottom here. And I would put that in the bottom there, add a little potting soil. You always want to use potting soil for potted plants in the house.
Soil, okay.
If you use your soil from the garden, it will pack down. It won't hold the right amount of moisture. It won't be a good thing at all. So then we'll just put a little bit of potting soil in here. Then what we would do, we would find probably a 5 to 8 inch leaf somewhere. I guess this one, I'll take this one. It's not very attractive looking.
Yeah.
So I'll just grab that. Now what you would do is you wouldn't put this right into the soil. You see how I just made that cut and it's nice and green there?
And a diagonal cut too.
Well, that just happened like that.
I didn't know if it was for surface area.
It's just, I just cut it like that. It'll be fine though. But you see how here this had been abraded in the past, and this actually is a callus that formed, that's like brownish stuff. So I'm going to leave this paddle of the cactus in the shade for at least 2 weeks, and then this callus would come all over that, so you won't get rot or anything. So then once you were done doing that, you can actually then just put this into the soil about 2 inches deep.
Is it just that easy?
Yeah, it's just that easy, and then just keep it moist and in the shade, and then you'll have a cactus that starts coming up from the sides there, and you'll have a brand new one. And you'll have tons of these eventually. I have probably 6 of these in the greenhouse. I've stopped trying to make more. So.
Yeah, you don't need any more.
No.
And again, you have to simulate the outside environment, watering it maybe 1 or 2 times a week to keep the soil moist?
Yeah, just like a regular house plant, like you would naturally do. It just, people really get confused when you say cacti, because they instantly go, their mind goes
dry,
to the
desert.
Yeah, and then they would lose these things. And I think the same thing goes for Christmas cactus and Thanksgiving cactuses.
You know what else is the first thing I noticed too? There's no pricklies on this.
No, some of them do have some small ones in the nodes here. These varieties don't seem to have one. And these are really actually very long-lived. Mark Twain, they have a night blooming cactus like this. It's white and it really smells very nice. And there are clones of it. Basically, they took cuttings and it's still going to this day, Mark Twain's original plant. So.
That is pretty neat. Well, Ed, I never thought I could grow cactus in my own home, so thank you so much for showing us all these tips. And if you want to view these tips again, all you need to do is go to mymassappeal.com later today.